In 2019, WeWork was worth $47 billion. Just 4 years later, the company filed for bankruptcy. How did a company that rented office desks become one of the most valuable startups in the world and then collapse almost overnight? The answer begins with a simple idea and one very unusual CEO. In 2019, WeWork was valued at $47 billion. But inside the company, massive losses were piling up, and one decision by its founder would soon expose everything. To understand what went wrong, we need to go back to the beginning. WeWork was founded in 2010 by Adam Neumann and Miguel McKelvey. Their idea was simple: take large office buildings, redesign them with modern interiors, and rent smaller workspaces to startups and freelancers. Instead of signing a long lease for an entire office, companies could rent desks month to month. WeWork sold more than just space. They sold community. Members had shared lounges, networking events, and stylish office design. The concept exploded, and investors loved it. But there was one important detail. WeWork wasn't actually a technology company. It was a real estate company, and that difference would eventually cause massive problems. The company expanded at an incredible speed. New offices opened across the United States, then Europe, then Asia. By the mid-2010s, WeWork was opening locations in dozens of cities around the world. The biggest believer was SoftBank, a massive investment firm led by Masayoshi Son. SoftBank poured billions of dollars into the company. Each investment pushed the valuation higher. 2014, $5 billion. 2016, $17 billion. 2019, $47 billion. WeWork became one of the most valuable startups in the world. But behind the growth, the business model had a serious flaw. And this is where things started to go wrong. WeWork's business model looked simple. The company signed long-term leases on office buildings, then rented those offices short-term to customers. If demand stayed high, the model worked. But if demand dropped, WeWork would still owe rent on those long leases. That risk was huge. And it wasn't the only problem. The company was losing massive amounts of money. In 2018 alone, WeWork lost over $1.6 billion, but investors ignored the losses. They believed the company was building the future of work. Meanwhile, CEO Adam Neumann was becoming one of the most powerful founders in Silicon Valley. But some of his decisions raised eyebrows. Neumann personally owned several buildings, and then he leased those buildings back to WeWork, which meant the CEO was collecting rent from his own company. It was unusual. But the real shock came in 2019. In 2019, WeWork decided to go public. The company filed documents for its initial public offering. These documents revealed something investors had never fully seen before: the real financial situation. WeWork had lost $1.9 billion in a single year, and the losses were growing. The IPO filing also revealed unusual corporate governance. Adam Neumann had extreme voting power, giving him near total control over the company. Investors suddenly began asking a simple question: why was a company losing billions valued at $47 billion? Confidence collapsed almost immediately. The IPO quickly fell apart. Investors refused to buy shares at the proposed valuation. Within weeks, WeWork's estimated value dropped dramatically, from $47 billion to around $20 billion. The IPO was canceled. Pressure on the company intensified. Soon after, Adam Neumann stepped down as CEO. SoftBank stepped in to rescue the company and prevent a total shutdown. But the damage had already been done. The fallout was massive. Thousands of employees lost their jobs. Many office locations were closed. Investors lost billions. SoftBank alone lost more than $10 billion on its investment. WeWork eventually went public in 2021 through a SPAC deal, but the company never regained its former valuation. The pandemic made things even worse. Demand for office space collapsed, and in 2023, WeWork filed for bankruptcy, one of the most dramatic startup collapses in modern business history. WeWork's story reveals several important lessons. First, growth cannot replace profitability. A company can grow quickly, but if the business model loses money, the problems will eventually surface. Second, corporate governance matters. When founders have too much control, oversight disappears, and risky decisions become easier. Third, not every company is a technology company. WeWork tried to position itself as a tech startup, but in reality, it was a real estate business, and real estate businesses are valued very differently. At its peak, WeWork was valued at $47 billion. Just a few years later, it filed for bankruptcy. A dramatic fall driven by hype, aggressive expansion, and a business model that investors misunderstood. If you want to learn more about business collapses and corporate strategy, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.